there is a poll at the top of chats. Take a little look. I always think one day I'm going to be sat here, I move into the music and it will be muted. Like, you know, the music, I'll have done like a Windows upgrade and the music will have never been playing and I'm just like dancing away to it like this. No, we don't, Mello. No, we will at some point. We will at some point. They, when I tell you they are probably like 50th on my list of priorities, when I tell you that, that is the God's honest truth. I've got so much to go, so much going on. But yeah, eventually there will be new glasses. How are we all doing today? We've got a lot of lovely people here. Mitch, welcome. Intel, welcome. Ash, welcome. Ishmael, welcome. Good to see you. Mello, welcome. You need to see that. I can see. I can see. I can see. I'm not quite as blind as having glasses may suggest. And I do have my reading glasses as well. Oh, quick. Yeah, we've just got about a few seconds and this will be the correct time. How was everybody's New Year's? If I didn't see you last night, how did it go? How hard did you party? Ash obviously was in hospital, so Ash was not partying. I mean, maybe they were. Who's to say? But yeah, we were all having a pretty good time here last night. We played some Uncharted 4, the new Ghostbusters game, some Stanley Parable, some Power Wash Sim. We're going to play Stanley. I'm going to play some more Power Wash Sim today. Just some nice relaxing things to ease us into 2024, you know, just to ease us in. Right. How are we all doing? Hang on, says the game. Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at noon and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock. And I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. All right, I'll let you get back to your back to the video game now. There we go. Still feeling a little delicate. Is this because of you had a couple last night, or are you feeling a bit unwell? I'm going to assume it was the former. But that sounds like you had a good night. Amazing. Yeah, this is that kind of game. It's just they throw little things like that at you all the time. I've seen people play it, and still I've got experiences yesterday in my first playthrough that I've never seen anybody have. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of new things to find. Had a little bit to drink. Nice, nice. Good way to bring in the new year. Right. Welcome back. Quit the game and then start it again. Nice. Is that the easiest trophy I've ever got? Ever? Potentially? Potentially? Right, we're back. Right, Staniel is the name of our narrator, by the way. Oh, can you all do me a favour? I put a short on YouTube within the last about 15 minutes. Could you just like it or comment on it or just do anything to it? I'm going to be a bit more... 2024, one of my resolutions is I'm going to be a bit better with social media, putting up shorts and things on YouTube. So if anybody could just engage with it in any small way or any of the shorts that I've got up there, it'd be really, I'd really appreciate it. And obviously give me a follow if you've not already given me a follow there. That would help also. Right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't know what it is. It's such a simple game. It's quite basic, but it's so engaging.
When Stanley came to
it's so engaging.
Two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, let's go through the door on the left today. I've had the heating on a little bit today, so my voice might be a bit more croaky than normal. Right, let's go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I want to go into the broom closet. I want to know what's in there. Very intrigued.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No. I feel like we went down here yesterday.
Stanley just couldn't do it.
Oh, the door's locked now.
The possibility
Fuck.
of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
I think this is the loop, isn't it?
In such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him?
Indeed, why do they?
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun. And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
So you're telling me people don't have voices in their heads dictating everything that they do? Interesting.
By Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
Welcome in, Raiders. Hello. You're coming at a very good time. Welcome in. How are you today? Step one, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you. I think most of you know me, if I had to guess. But welcome to the Platinum Lounge. Sessa, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. Happy New Year to you. How are you doing today, Sessa? Thank you so much. We're 19 away from 1,000 followers. Thank you, Sessa. How are you doing? Sessa, can I give you a shout out? Do you like video shout outs or do you like the other kind of shout out? Thank you for coming in. If anybody that's coming in the raid needs to hydrate, get snacks, take medications, get away from screens, I completely understand. Self-care is very important. Cafe Al Latte, hello. Welcome in, friend. So lovely to see you. We're going to quickly do a couple of shout outs. How was your new year, Cafe Al Latte? Just making sure I get the underscore in the right place. There you go. Make sure to give Step 1 a follow. And boop. There we go. Yeah, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. How was everybody's new year? If I haven't spoken to you. We had a cheeky little New Year's stream last night. Had a good time. But I hope you all had a very safe and fun New Year's Eve. Yes, and welcome to 2024. How go the games flat? Pretty good. We've just started the Stanley Parable. We've not been playing for too long, about 8 minutes. We played a little bit of it yesterday, and we're currently we're trying to find out new ways to play it. If you've not played it before, it's a game with a million endings, apparently. And I'll give you a little example of some gameplay in a second. It was good. Played Party Animals into the new year. Nice. Stanley Parable is very silly, yes. I've seen quite a few people play it, and it was for sale in the Black Friday sales. So, yeah, I've been looking forward to giving it a go myself.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that
let's jump in.
Dream. Did the voice not see him?
There's a constant narrator, and we called our narrator Stanley. Just so everybody knows.
Just a moment ago, how else would
we're
the
locked
voice
in a loop
explain
at the
all
moment.
That? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
It's very silly. Very silly, in the best way.
The press of the mattress on his back. The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
Yeah.
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I don't like talking over the narrator because he's brilliant. Nope, still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real.
How are you, by the way, Sessa? How are you doing today?
I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
And everything went black. I'm wearing my new CM Punk shirt.
Of a woman named Mariella.
Doing well, thanks. I'm
Mariella
glad.
woke
Very
up
glad.
on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed.
I'm wearing my new
gathered
CM
her
Punk Hell
belongings,
Froze Over
and walked to
t-shirt.
her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she
This much she knew.
Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, She thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
Who'd
I
want to
am
be normal,
sane.
though?
I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Then she turned and ran. All right, I think we're starting a new loop now. We did this loop yesterday, so we'll try not to do that one again. I'm still trying to
All of
figure
this
all the
code
new
was
ways we
getting
can
gone.
go.
What could it mean?
Oh, by the way,
Stanley
step
decided
one.
to go to the
Oh,
meeting room.
the door is
Perhaps
just
he
locked,
simply
but
lost
yes,
the
the
memory.
desk. One day, if I do platinum this game, I will pay you through the nose to recreate his little office space. It would be too funny, I think, to have that as where the platinum is. That's the new content. So this is part of the, yeah. So this is the new content because we're playing the deluxe version, but I've not gone down there yet because I want to just see if I can find as much from the first version as
Stanley
possible.
came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
So let's go up to the boss's office again and see if we can get something new to happen up there.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
So the route we just
Coming
took
to a
was going
staircase,
down,
Stanley walked upstairs to
but we're going to
his
go up
boss's
this time.
office.
Very decadent up here. Very decadent indeed.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into
Is this back to work? Well, I mean, what are you going to choose? I mean, presumably you'd go for next Monday, right?
the newly opened passageway.
What would be the benefits going back on Thursday? I'll see them next week. Yeah. It's not even like a difficult decision. It seems like a pretty straightforward one to me. Intel, do you want me to give you a fiver or do you want me to give you a tenner? It's your choice. Don't let me persuade you either way. You can have this crisp fiver or this ratty tenner. What would you choose? It's not a difficult choice.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself.
I think we might be able to show Step 1 the museum if we go down this
Why did
way.
he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
So we get a choice ourselves,
Stanley
actually.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Or escape. Let's go down escape.
Although this passage
So we played this route yesterday, and we got to the end because I was giving every game 2 hours because we played 4 games, 8-hour stream. And so we had to kind of cancel it early while we were in the museum, but the museum was fascinating. And I kind of want to see what else there is to be seen there. So we're going to walk back down there.
it had the word escape written on it. The truth was that at the
Never
end of
seen this game. It's very silly indeed. Yes, we're basically Stanley. We're in our office. We can't find anybody else, and we can keep taking different paths. And there are so many different kind of endings and routes you can take, but we've always got this narrator. It's great fun, very silly, and we've called the narrator Staniel. Silly fun pastime game. Yes, 100%.
Stanley would meet his violent
Yeah, the
death.
narrator is Staniel. He's very mischievous as well. If anybody does want to catch up, the VOD is
door
on
behind
YouTube from
him was not
yesterday and
shut.
on Twitch as well.
Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Let's go. Let's turn around and see what Daniel says.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. Nope, still on board with death.
Right. I want to get every ending to this. It's too good. It's one of those games where it's just too good not to really push and get everything you can possibly get from it.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward
Yes.
and willingly confront his death.
Right, down we go.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
His life had been of no consequence
Stanley can't see the
whatsoever.
bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Jesus Christ.
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body.
It reminds me of a
killing
little
him
bit of the humor from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy TV show.
instantly.
Right.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Here we go.
What
Step
exactly
one.
did the
This is where
narrator
what we
think he was
stumbled
going to
upon
accomplish?
yesterday.
When every path you
The
can
museum.
walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Filing cabinets. Office computers. This is the little rabbit warren that we basically operate out of on the top floor. We start in here. This is our office. We always take this path through here, through the office, and then we get the choice, I think, in here of 2 doors, and that's where the game kind of begins. That's where all the different choices can happen after there. So bright, yes, very kind of sterile looking, but yeah, I think it's kind of leaning into the idea of just grey office spaces. All of the outfits, Intel. Yeah, I need 2 outfits, and we're going to probably play through the whole game again because it does not have collectible stacking, would you believe? Also, no, it does have collectible stacking, but you cannot just do a chapter. You've got to play the whole game through again, which is very dumb. But I don't think many people have seen me play Guardians of the Galaxy, so that is one of the options. Yeah, so just in case people don't know what we're talking about, there is a poll at the top of chat at the moment. Pick what we're playing this week. If one of the big narrative games gets chosen, we'll probably play it like Monday, Tuesday over the next 3 weeks or something. Right, these are the credits to the game. Very cool. Yeah, we didn't fully explore this yesterday, like I said, because we had to move on to the next game to keep the schedule. But I want to come back here and see what there is to see. Guardians gameplay by anybody. It's very fun. Very fun. It came out... I need to change my vote. Mellow, it came out, would you believe, pretty much at the same time as the Avengers game came out. And everybody was super excited for the Avengers game. The Guardians game kind of slipped underneath the radar. And the Avengers game was universally panned. And the Guardians game was kind of really liked. So, yeah, it was very weird. I played the Guardians game thinking it would just be quite dull, quite boring, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Office clock. There we go. Like every element from the whole game is pretty much here. Freedom ending. This was the first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. What are these? Buttons. The countdown ending. We've not found the countdown ending before. The monitor room elevator. Yeah. Exit. Actually, should we?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Oh, here it is. This is Stanley's cubicle, I think. Stanley's office, right. Wait a minute, from left to right. The evolutions of Stanley's office. The 3rd in February 2013. So I think step one, I think this is it. I think this is the desk that potentially we might see in the museum in the future. So yeah, that picture above the desk there could be the trophy. I think would be very funny. Would be so meta. But yeah, very cool. That one, I will name your price for that one. That's going to be a lot of work. I will happily pay any price for that. I'm hoping Avengers spins first before Guardians on my wheel. Yeah. I've not played the Avengers game, but I can remember when the trailers came out. You know, when they put a trailer out to really sell you on something. And I watched the trailer, I was like, that genuinely looks terrible. It looks absolutely terrible. And then they did like at E3 or something. They had like a group of about like 30 to 50 people and 2 people standing up announcing the game. And I think, now just get the trophy. I will do my absolute best. They were stood there telling these people about an Avengers game, and the audience was so like unimpressed. There was no like applause. It's one of those great E3 moments. I'll have to find that clip at some point and share it with people. It's like when Blizzard was stood at E3 and they were like, yeah, we're unveiling a new game. It's the Diablo mobile game. And somebody went up to, they had this podium with a microphone where people could ask questions. And somebody looked them right in the eye and said, is this an out of season April Fool's joke? And everybody laughed. And everybody was so unimpressed. It was wild. I personally don't think it seems so bad, but from Trophy Hunter's view, it's very, very grindy. Yeah, I mean, the amount of people I know that have played it and just have nothing good to say about it. But yeah, I'll have to probably play it to give a proper opinion. But, oh, can I not? Can I?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Controls vibrating.
You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
I'm choosing death. There we go. Step one, I think one of the most famous trophies in all of gaming is in this game. Does anybody know about the very famous trophy in this game?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors...
I do, but I forget what you got to do.
Left.
Don't play this game for 10 years. That's the trophy.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Stanley
Perhaps he
did know
wanted
it
to stop
perfectly
by
well.
the employee lounge first, just to admire
Good to
it.
see you and all in chat. Welcome in, Sam. How are you doing today? I took a look at that Alan Wake book. It looks very good, by the way. Yeah, I'm very interested in that. Looks fun. I knew that there were loads of Assassin's Creed novels as well, but I found out there's a BioShock novel. I think it was frequently brought together with the Alan Wake one. So, yeah, very cool. How are you doing? Welcome in, Baz, as well. Hello, friends.
Yes,
We're playing a bit more Stanley Parable, and then we'll be doing some Power Wash Sim a little bit later.
It had really been worth the detour after all. just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, but eager to get back to business.
Happy New Year,
Stanley
Baz.
took the first open door on his left.
Oh, you could Intel, and I will do that. But at the same time, it's just very fun. I like the idea of them making those kind of trophies, you know. There are some people that got it legit. I remember there being a story on IGN, I think, where they said people have started to get it legit for the first time because they waited, you know, the requisite 10 years. Doing okay today? Coming down with a cold, which is a bit annoying, but pressing on with uni work. Do you think you've got the same thing that your partner has? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But yes, we will cheese that trophy. When I eventually do stop playing it, I'll probably, you know, write something, maybe like write a little note to myself for 10 years' time. This game is that old, yeah. Well, this is the deluxe version, but the original version came out in like 2014, or sorry, would have been 2013, I think. No, yeah, around 2013. I think around that time. So yeah, I'm playing the kind of the deluxe
And so he
version.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I'm worried about this door locking behind me if I leave. Damn it. Right, we're
Yet
back
there
in the
was
office
not a
section.
single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I feel like we've done everything possible in the boss's office, though. Oh, we could maybe go into the mind control center and take a look in there. I think we did. We may have done everything to do in there, but there might be other routes.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean?
I've read the Assassin's Creed novel. I enjoyed it a lot. Nice. I think there were like 9 of them, which I found out. And one of them's got an extension to the Edward Kenway story, so I might be interested in reading that. Haven't had anything since last January, so it's been a good run. That is true. Excuse me.
Stanley wondered aloud to nobody.
I should know this
He began
code now. Is it
wildly tearing through
2845 or
papers
something?
on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paint. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Staniel.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So
Speed
he
up,
relaxed
Staniel.
for a few moments with some calming new age music.
Oh, this is nice. Staniel's playing us some music. I put in the code and the door isn't opening. The door should be opening. Did you? Oh, do you? Nice. Very
Feeling
nice, Sam.
soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Oh, God. Yeah, I want to get back to that game at some point. I don't think I'll stream it ever again, though. I don't think I will. I'm going to keep it on the same difficulty, but I'm going to take it off stream. I want to play that game on the normal difficulty. That's my final decision. But I might return to Alan Wake 1 on stream at some point. Get some more collectibles, you know. Play it on Nightmare difficulty. Right, this time we're going to go to the Mind Control Center.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door
Facility.
that read Mind Control Facility.
Do you know what we'll do? We'll walk down here and then we'll come back out. We might get different narration after I read the novel, yeah.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yeah.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
We will, Staniel, don't worry. I just want to get every bit of
At this
narration I
point,
possibly
Stanley
can.
was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Welcome in, Zaya. How are you, friend? So that's the route we took a minute ago, but we're going to go back. Let's go all the way back. Let's see if Staniel says anything different.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
There we go. Let's turn that on.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horror!
How are you, Zaya? Happy New Year.
I think
I hope you're feeling
that
as
is
good as you
quite a
possibly
lot.
can
I'm
be.
spending
We appreciate you.
1,530 simoleons. If I was playing without cheats, that would have been more money that I had. But I don't like being basic.
Doesn't like being basic. Make sure to give them a follow. Zaya is wonderful. Wonderful people.
Horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Right, what's down here? We've been down this way once before, but I'm assuming there might be multiple things we can do. Let's turn on the cameras. Very much like the Matrix. So I'm in bed. Good. Well, do you know what? Rest up. Rest up.
Stanley's co-workers.
Me and you have got big things happening this year. We've got big plans, Zaya. So I need you rested and ready to go.
Reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley.
Have you had any nice food today, Zaya?
Eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Right, let's get the lift going.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Welcome in, Fudge.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls.
How are you doing today, Fudge? I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope you're resting. I think you've had some time off now, or you're just about to have some time off. I hope you're resting up. Visited Lucy and her family today. It was good to see them. Yes, that might be where you've got the slight cold from as well. So, yeah, try and rest up a bit, Sam. Try and have some lemon sip or something. My siblings-in-law ended up coming over last night, so I didn't get the early rest that I wanted to, unfortunately. I'm looking forward to what's in store in 2024. Well, that's good. It's good to be social, but it's, you know, we've all got, you know, I know that you're very well-versed in your spoons.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
the
what
second
was
little
that?
misfortune clip we've had today from two different streamers, I think.
was that a hamster in a car?
Maybe.
Labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very
Oh, God, what
place.
is this?
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Where's button number 3? I couldn't find button number 3 yesterday. We found 1, 2, 4, and 5. The game might be fucking with me. Yeah, that's the button down there, but that's button 5. Where's 3? What button's this? Oh, here's 3. 3. Where's button number 4? Yeah, there's 5. I did see 4 yesterday someplace. 1, 2. There's got to be a 4. There has to be. This was 3, but let me look around. Around here. Have been resting since the 23, so I'm ready for 2024 now. Nice. Sadly dealing with some New Year's Day drama. Hopefully people calm down a bit. Fingers crossed, Fudge. That's not a nice way to start the year. Hopefully people do calm down. Yeah. Did you do anything to celebrate last night? Or did you have a quiet, restful one? Where is button number 4? I swear I saw it yesterday. Oh, is that? What's that up there? Is that number 4 up there? My screen is so dark. Wait 1 second. I need to actually be able to see what I'm doing. Where is this? The stairway. Where does it begin? There we go. I'm going to change the brightness on this. I cannot see a fucking thing. No. Okay. Got some work experience sorted out. Nice. What are you going to be doing? What are the plans? If I randomly stop chatting, I'm probably sleeping. No worries, are you? No worries. You need all the rest you can get right now. All the rest you can get. There's a little gate here, isn't there? Yeah, there's a gate blocking me. It's so annoying. I don't know if I'm supposed to go up there, but that looks like a button up there. It might be. 1, 2. That door's locked. That's 5. Yeah, I can't get to 4. That might be 4 up there, but like I don't know how to get up there. Just yump. I can't yump. I got no yump. Got no yump. No yumpage. That seems silly. I don't know how to get up there.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his...
Going to be working at a psychiatric ward at a hospital. Wow, that sounds intense. Good luck with that. Sounds very intense. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I imagine that's going to be really good for what you've, because you're doing your psychology degree. So that's going to be really interesting insight for you into, that aspect of psychological care. But yeah, I can imagine that's going to be a very intense experience. So good luck with it. And yeah, I hope it really works out well for you. Wow, yeah, that could be really helpful for you, Sam. Yeah, 100%.
Obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I did, yes.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls
No,
off
we did that
and
yesterday,
leave.
Staniel.
If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Oh, we got an open door.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires.
Oh, this gate is open
much
now
better
as well.
than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb
That is
goes
number
off.
4.
But what precious moments each one of them
I knew that'd be
is.
number 4.
More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
I'm not pressing that,
What's
man.
that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
Oh,
All right.
he's
good.
such a little shit. He's such a little shit.
You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Staniel is such a little
Other
shit.
times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it
I don't know if this
go.
does anything, but I'm going to
But
just
I'm
try it
sure
anyway.
Whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds.
I think they want me to press one of these
Time
big
doesn't grow on
buttons.
trees.
I don't want to,
Dear
though.
me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing?
I want to see what
right now?
happens when it
Did you
explodes.
just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No!
Don't
these
call me
colored
out like that,
buttons. Maybe
Staniel.
this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything.
Yeah.
Something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley,
We're just going to let it happen.
you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler.
The controller is really
That
shaking.
timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Staniel,
Take
you're
look
such
at
a
the
little
clock,
shit.
Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
I'm not struggling.
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
Goodbye, employee 47.
Being blown to pieces. Will you
The
cling
controller is
desperately
really
to
going
freedom,
for it as well.
or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Have you played this before, Fudge? I'm sorry if you told me already. Right, let's do that
All of his
again, but let's
co-workers were
press the
gone.
button this
What could
time.
it mean? Stanley
Let's see
decided
what
to go
that
to the
does.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Did
memo.
you unlock double jump in? Sam, I did not know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Some played on YouTube, yeah. It's very good. I saw a couple of people play it as well. I think it was left, wasn't it? And then we go up to the boss's room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
Yeah.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons.
I love that.
Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
I love that. Staniel, you're an absolute gem. He was like, yeah, don't bother pressing the button. We know what's going to happen. Just fucking do it. It's too perfect. This game is too perfect. I've no clue what the trophies are going to be like as well, Fudge. That's the thing. I'm completely blind. And they're not like
Stanley
normal
walked straight
trophies.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
We got a trophy for getting a trophy yesterday as well. Right, here we go. We're back in the mind control facility. Boop.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this
Yeah.
place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom and
Stanley's 427, so they're that one over there.
this mind control facility, it was too
I'm excited to know
horrible
what
believe
happens.
It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
There's
It
one that
was
says
unthinkable.
pirates. Can you see that?
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Right, I think we're back.
But here was the proof.
Here we are.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Daniel, I'm sorry.
They kept
I
you
couldn't help
enslaved
myself.
all these years. You go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Right, so which buttons do we actually press this time?
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the
Can we actually
controls
get
off
through this door, do we
and
think?
leave.
Or is he going to shut it in my
If you want
face
to throw
again?
my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Good.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set
Can we
to
get through
explode,
this door, chat? What do we
detonating
think?
the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say
2 minutes?
2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Is the door
It's
going to
your
open?
time
Because
to
I'm so
shine.
close to
You
it.
are the star.
It might have
It's
like a
your
proximity
story now.
thing.
Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Open the door,
Mere
Daniel.
moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of
door didn't
solace
open this
before
time.
you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Damn it.
I erased them.
I was too close to it, I
Turned off
think.
the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go.
Yellow.
But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what?
There might
To hell
actually
with
be
it. I'm going to put some extra
a
time
different,
on the
like a
clock
pattern that we need to put in.
These are
God knows what
precious
that would be.
additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it
Yellow.
off? I mean, look at you.
Incorrect.
Running from button to button, screen to
Red.
screen,
Incorrect.
clicking on every
Green.
little thing in this room. These
Oh,
numbered
God.
buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you
Yeah.
think that,
There's
Stanley?
I don't know if
That
we
this
can save
video game
ourselves.
can be beaten?
There must be a
One
way. There must be a
soul?
pattern, but I don't
Do
know
you
where.
have
We probably have to
any
learn
idea
it
what your
someplace, wouldn't
purpose
we?
in this place is? But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution?
Many.
10, 100, 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to
Oh, can't
watching
press
it
these
all
buttons
go
either.
Each time
Oh,
you
God.
fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal
Yeah.
over and over and over for all of eternity. And
Staniel, I wouldn't have it
died
any other
again.
way.
And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
The control is
Will you cling
absolutely
desperately
vibrating more than I've ever
or will you let
in
it
any
go
game I've ever
peacefully?
played.
Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke.
Console
And believe
disabled.
me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
So somehow I think we press something in those. There are 4 buttons there. We've got to get them in the right order, and we will turn on the console, and then we can avert the explosion. But I'm not sure where we learn about the pattern that we have to put in.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Thank you, Staniel. That was a bit. I think that was new. I don't think he said that before. Right, should we try going through new content?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I did, Sam. Yeah, I had a really good time with it. We're going to actually play some more today. And I think on Friday, we're going to watch the DeLorean. If anybody would like to vote on what we're going to be playing for the rest of the week, there is a poll pinned in the chat.
Hello, and thank you for playing the
7
Stanley
options, I think.
Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley
More.
Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
I'm glad it's on console. I'm glad it finally came to console.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
New
Oh,
content.
well,
How
this sounds
exciting.
delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Thank you, Fudge. Thank you, Sam.
Okay, so
Should we
far
see what's
it's
winning? so far.
Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning.
Don't want to miss anything of that. Should we see what's winning so far? Oh, okay, we've got a tie. It's tied at the top. How interesting. The bottom is Untitled Goose Game. Detroit Become Human is second to bottom. Power Wash Sim is third from bottom. Interesting. I'm not going to tell you what's top after all, but we're tied at the top. 28 points each for two games.
Mesmerizing adventure.
Am I? Oh God,
What's going
it's
on
Daniel.
here? Should
It's
we-
Daniel.
Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, there we go.
There we
All right,
go.
Finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's
Yeah.
as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content.
Here we
Give
go.
me the content, Stanley.
Let's do it. Don't worry, Daniel. I got you. Oh,
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
right. Oh, amazing. I don't want to use all of my jumps up, though. They gave me the power to jump. I'm going to save some jumps. You never know.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
We're in another lift.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to
Just in that
30
little circle,
trillion.
Sam.
You could put that on
Yeah,
the box.
I'm trying to
The
jump now.
Stanley
I can't.
Parable Ultra
Forget to jump in that little
Deluxe, now with
circle.
over
A total of
1,000
35
hours of new
times.
content. And oh wait, there's more.
Okay.
Very good.
What's going to be
Yeah.
down here?
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
Daniel is
This
furious.
is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And
I
don't
think
get
so,
me
Sam,
started
yeah.
on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Me and my best friend,
What do
Daniel.
you say, friend?
Let's do it. That was quite funny, though. Oh. This is new.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
But what's up here, though?
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Fine. Okay, Daniel, I'm coming back.
Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
Thank you, Daniel. I mean, if the shoe fits, but let's not. Like John McClane. James, Happy New Year to you also. How was your night? I hope you had a nice
Okay,
one.
you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Oh
Just
my
our
God.
little secret. Take a look.
Hold on a minute, look at this. We're coming through the vents and suddenly... Holy fuck. Spent it with some friends. Nice, James. Fantastic. I'm glad you spent it with people and had a nice time. This is amazing.
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Did you make any New Year's resolutions, James? Or is that not your kind of thing? I make the same one I make every year. And I actually stuck with it for 9 months last year. It was more exercise. And today, January 1st, I did my first exercise of the year. I was very happy. Wait a minute. There it is. The platinum for Stranded Deep. It's taken a very long time. A very, very long time. 33 streams. Don't know why I'm carrying the crude hoe. No idea at all. But there it is. Come here. I have something I can give you in return. The Neko badge. Gained new item. Badges and hopefully the platinum trophy. All done. We got it. We got it. Oh, what a great game. I'm going to be sad to see it go, but sometimes when you love a game that much, you just got to get the platinum. You found us. And there it is. And that completes the list. We did it. Platinum. There we go. Welcome back, everybody. I didn't make one. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, mine's always just to exercise. And I actually did quite well with it last year. Like I said, I did it for 9 months and stopped in September. This is gorgeous.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful
All right, have we done
Stanley
it?
Parable was?
Is this
before
the
it was
platinum for the Grinch Christmas Adventures?
The feast.
I need to update that. Puzzles trophy. We have the feast. They're all doing their little festive dance. And there it is. Awful, wonderful idea. Yeah, I need to update that. We got a couple of platinums last week. Whenever I made one, I fail. Fair enough. Fair enough. They're not for everyone. But yeah, I like to make one every year. Yeah, just see if I can stick to it for as long as possible.
With a cheap PlayStation port. Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Look at that. Audience Award, the Stanley Parable, Independent Games Festival. Oh, it got a BAFTA. I think they've stuck something over it. This is so cool. Stanley Parable postcards. The original remake. Smile because it happened. A trip down memory lane. $1. That might be the first dollar that the Stanley Parable ever made. I may try some different types of foods in this year, but it's not a goal. That's interesting. Is there anything in particular you'd like to try? I'd like to try some more Korean food. I'd like to try Korean barbecue. Did I hear you say there's a trophy for this game to not play it for 10 years? There is indeed, Mello. At least that's what I've been told. If you go on PSN profiles, I'm not going to go to look for it now because I might see other trophies. And I don't look at the trophies till I hit 60%. But I believe there is a trophy for don't play it for 10 years. Oh, God. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. Now, that would annoy me if that was real. That would really annoy me. More fish foods. Nice. Yeah, I really like a fish pie. Oh, do not play for 5 years. Maybe it was 5 years, not 10 years, Mello. This might be the actual one. Yeah, there is with the clock, and I think I will. If it's the last trophy I need, I will allow myself to cheese it. But I might actually, if I do end up not playing the game, I will probably write down the date. And I'll wait 5 years, and I will actually get it legitimately. I think it'd be quite fun to, as a little like time capsule to myself. Fish pie is very good. I really like calamari. Not necessarily fish, but like seafood. I love calamari as well. Prawns, big on prawns too. Yeah, I just want to check, Mello, you did see that, didn't you? Go outside, don't play for 5 years. If you go on PSN profiles, Sam, you might better confirm whether this is real or not. And you can tell me and Mello, because I'm not going to go on there yet, like I said. I don't want to see any of the other trophies. I want them all to be a surprise. I think it is 10 years, fair. Prawn cocktail. Oh, my God, I love prawn cocktail. Brown bread. I like prawn cocktail crisps as well. It is 10, yeah. It is 10. I thought it was 10. Right. It got some BAFTA nominees. New video game releasing today. Creators at surprisingly down to earth. The Stanley Parable deals tough choices. There's Stanley. We've played that ending already. This is so beautiful. Some of these are so funny. I bet they are.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
I think 27, Mello. We've only got 3 trophies, though, all gold, so we're getting through it quite quickly. We can, yes, Mello. That is the way to do it. I think there are a few trophies I've seen like that where you can cheese certain trophies. There was one from Batman Arkham Asylum or something where you had to meet Calendar Man on Halloween, Valentine's Day, Christmas Day, things like that. So yes, this is the Deluxe Remake Edition. And so it originally came out in 2013. And there was an article, Sam, on IGN, I think like a year ago, where they said that people were finally starting to get it legitimately. People had actually been waiting, and they were getting it legitimately now, which is quite fun. Yeah. So what's down? What's down here? Memory zone maintenance. Okay. We'll leave that then. Yeah, lots of lovely pictures. Oh, that's some Minecraft up there. The original remake. Oh, yes, the red and blue doors. Yeah, we've been through the red and blue doors. Cool.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game.
This is so cool.
9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Carpet textures. Where are we going now? Oh, this way.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
The serious room. Okay. I think we have to go back out the same way we came in. Oh, maybe this door opens now. Yes, this door opens now.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
A luscious beard on my face. I believe in you.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh God.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this
Oh,
game
God.
to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating
Daniel,
than
I'm so sorry.
entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I wish I could use some of my jumps down here. Did you get any new games for Christmas? No. I bought myself the Stanley Parable, the game we're playing now. And that was it. Yeah, no new games for Christmas. I think somebody got me some PlayStation vouchers, though, which I'm always very happy about.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast.
The preachiness.
Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well,
Daniel's perfect. Nobody can call this narrator anything other than perfect. If you think the narrator's imperfect, I don't think people maybe understand what the game is meant to be. It's too perfect.
I feel like a failure. Like I
Daniel, no. I won't hear it, Daniel.
Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh God, am I supposed to go down here?
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening.
I wonder if these people are real, these reviews.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley.
Oh God.
That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Daniel, you're perfect. Don't let anybody tell you any differently.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations.
That one's a real
Not
account,
that
is it,
I
Insult?
should read a
Jesus.
description of it, but if
Can
I
you?
had
Do you
to
think they know? Do you think they've played it? And they've seen that they've said put in a skip button the whole game. They've put in a skip button based on that one comment from that random person.
describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking.
Oh,
isn't
really?
it? But
Okay.
at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it.
Must be quite fun when they found out. Do you think they asked permission? Or they said, guess what, we're putting you in this game? Oh, man, can you imagine? Can you imagine a review being put into a game? Daniel, I love you, but I think...
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12 hours?
You've just been frozen there.
Where's the
I
door?
don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness.
Plants
I have
seen better
someone to talk
days.
to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always?
Oh, no.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped.
How long has it been,
keeping track
Daniel?
After a year. Have you ever sat down in
A
one
year?
place and not moved for one entire year? Let me
I mean, I've
describe
sat in this chair for most of the last year, so yes, I would say I have. He's almost got all achievements for both versions. Oh, yeah. Must be a
To
super
begin
fan.
with, there is only.
The plant is well and truly dead. The clock has stopped. Oh, God. It feels like something's about to explode. Hello? Staniel?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have
Still
a
going
point.
on about
It
those
was meant to
fucking
speak
reviews.
To the human condition. But where?
Do we think every time I press the button now, it's like 10 years is going by? God knows what year it is.
Where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said.
Staniel? Staniel? How do we get out of here? It's dark.
The end is never the
End is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
is never the end, 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 is never the.
That final trophy intel's gonna kill me. Oh. Oh, God. How much time has passed? Oh, here we go. Can we escape? So I'm gonna guess that humanity no longer exists, and I'm the final human, and the nature is reclaiming the Earth. What do we think? We're in Horizon Forbidden West territory now, I would say. I'm gonna walk out of here, and Aloy is gonna be there waiting for me. Oh God, it's gone again. The lovely nature's gone. Okay, maybe an asteroid landed on Earth and wiped it all out. What was that noise? Oh no. The skip button fell down. Oh, okay, well, at least we can leave. Yeah, last human. Last human confirmed. It's the end of days. Must be. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely Blackpool Beach. Confirmed. We're home. I approve of that new content. I approve.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think we should try and go back to... Oh, new content. Okay. Okay, you had me with a big neon sign.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes,
Staniel, how the fuck could I not notice that sign?
I have something very exciting to
The
show
power in the rest of the building is struggling because of that sign.
you.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay. The end is never the end. Again. 2.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An
Investor showcase.
entirely new experience,
Perfect.
built from the ground up. Why
Taste
there's
the
so many
sequel.
possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
This is very
Calling it
nice.
The Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe.
It's very much a modern office space as well, compared to
What
Stanley's
does it
office.
even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah, I've got, like,
now
laptops and
that's
shit.
An artistic statement right there. It's
They're back.
future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but
Okay.
let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Staniel, sometimes an
I
idea is
figure
all you
if I
need.
can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
A reassurance bucket. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Right, let's try this. Let's try this button.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, What do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Very wonderful, yes. I like what's happened here. Too big, too small, just right. The committee has got it right.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Yep.
But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name,
Yep.
whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim.
So
to
I'm
really
Jim.
Simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
Jim.
Okay,
I'm
here
Jim.
we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind,
Clearing my mind.
forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim.
Okay.
Sleeping and waking as Jim.
Yep.
Falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim. Seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim. And as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply?
Yep.
Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I am indeed.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
I am Jim.
Yes,
That's me.
you
That's
see?
I am Jim.
What a thrill,
They
what
said
a
my
rush. It
name.
was you. The button described you. Do it again. Do it again. Jim. Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all
Too
of this
emotionally
personal
drained.
validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Can they?
I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise,
No.
soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
God damn it. We got a few extra Jims in there. I'm happy with that. All right. Can I press these buttons? No. I am Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
A whole new office. Red is the new orange. The new updated, ray-traced, more of the same, but in a good way, sequel to the Stanley Parable. Okay. Collectibles. Free, new and easy trophy. I can't believe it's that simple. Nice. Okay. New screenshots. Oh, the jump circle. Yeah, we met the jump circle. I might do a couple more,
You know
actually.
what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Nice. Yeah, I like the jump circle. Free trophy. The button that says the name. Yep. Reassurance bucket. B2. That's the exit. Actually, collectibles. Let's go up here and see what the collectibles are. Can you find them? Can you find them?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines.
Nice,
And what's
okay.
truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Look at that, little Stanley. No, 1 of 6. Nice. We're doing it. Collect them all. Okay, we've got number 1.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's terrible.
tragic.
Free trophy, get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new trophy, no more steps. Okay, let's do it.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Is it going to be as simple as that?
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist.
Will exist, yes.
Well, the trophy is still fully broken.
Yeah,
I'm not a wizard,
unsurprising.
Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Good, okay. Right. Okay, let's go back up. I think they said something about an infinite hole.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Let's try the infinite hole. Rim, depth infinite, surrounding area. Okay. I think I get what they're putting down.
Stanley, here's an idea that
That's
I'm
the infinite
truly
hole.
fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever.
Lovely.
That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like.
This
A
is
stunning leap
amazing.
forward for video games is amazing.
I cannot tell you how happy I am playing this game. It's exactly my sense of humor. I don't know if it's like I don't know who makes this game. I might need to do some research, but the fact that he like I don't know, it's got like kind of like a British humor to it. I don't know. Maybe people disagree, but right, are we going into the infinite hole?
You see, isn't it wonderful?
It's better to
One
do
of
it
my
this way
more
so we can see the
ingenious
opening.
concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Why would I do something so stupid as
Now, I
returning
don't
to
mean
the
be a
surface?
bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
No.
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole?
Yes.
To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is.
We stand
Is
in an
it
astonishingly
infinite?
deep hole.
Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh,
Okay, well...
We
good
made
for
it.
You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so...
oh, look at all
clever.
these cigarette butts
I
that people have
think
been
it
throwing
should
down
be
here.
just
God
that you're
damn it.
unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
I'm almost certainly the problem.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said...
Has anybody seen, is it Thor Ragnarok, when Loki says, I've been falling for 30 minutes?
some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole...
Mostly infinite.
Mostly.
Yeah, right, yeah.
If that works for you...
It works for me,
then go
Stanley,
ahead
yeah.
and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for this... Oh, for hell. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
It is me, Staniel.
The
It was
problem
always
is that
me.
You like holes too much.
Well, it has been noted
Normal
before.
person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter?
It did
to
seem
you
shorter this
I
time,
couldn't help
Staniel.
but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
did.
Admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing
Cigarette
to do
butts, oh no,
here.
they're
If
still
you
there.
decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Hey, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Had enough? I'm
No.
positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
It's even shorter this time.
Okay.
Staniel, what's going on?
I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less
It
and
is
less
growing
infinite.
less infinite,
I
Staniel,
suspect that
please.
I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the
This
uncertain
fucking
nature
guy.
of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top,
Yeah,
and we'll
let's
see
do
if
it.
it gets any shorter. Well, there it is.
Oh,
Shame of my
good
life. How is
God,
this so
Staniel.
appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this.
I can't even jump out. I've got no jump.
Who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Oh, God.
Is he, teleport
Staniel,
button
please. I'm stuck here forever now.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try
This
again.
fucking guy.
Still nothing?
No.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for.
I enjoy a
It's
good
win
hole,
for
but this is
everyone.
ridiculous.
You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
I have jumps left, but I can only jump in the jump circle. You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. I fucking know you did. Here I am, stuck in my shallow little hole. If only this was the jump circle, I could have jumped out. Oh, God. Oh, God, what? Staniel! Staniel, where have you gone? Staniel, please! Oh, my God. We're going to hell. The plat pen. Staniel! 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 Oh. I can't move, though. Maybe this is where everybody else went. Yeah. Change your reality. Oh, nice. Okay. It's like Dave the Diver. Oh, upside down. Okay. This is so fucking cool. This might be the best game I've ever played, ever. This might be the best game of all time, Intel. It's so meta. It's such a commentary on gaming as well.
Stanley! Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn
Circling the drains, Daniel,
that I want you
please.
to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Seeing his feet, yeah. Yeah. Him having feet. It's quite the shock. I'm waiting for the game to say 10 years later. Oh, we're back. No feats, Volcana. No feats. How are you, friend? We just got our third trophy. We just got our third trophy of the game. This is me frantically trying to jump, Volcana. Me spamming the X button trying to jump. And then we get a trophy that says...
Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Can you hear me? You can hear the jumping. The attempts to jump anyway. And then you get the trophy you can't jump. Too perfect. This game is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right. So we've been to the... They've changed it to the button that says gym now. You heard gym in the game. Can we press the button again? It's on the backlog. Oh, it's too good. It's too good. I almost want you to tell you to not watch it because I don't want to give you spoilers, but it's too good. Oh, the button's not returned. Damn you. Stanley took the button away from us. 9 trophies, then platinum. We've got 3 of them, Game of Phoenix. We've got 3. God knows what the rest of them are going to be, but I don't look until I get to 60%. In S, we good. Okay, fair. Right, let me... the infinite hole. We found the collectibles. Oh, the reassurance bucket. Merch. Can I buy any merch? No. All right, let's go up here. I slept a little bit. How was your stream, by the way? How did it go?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered
There's
a
no
chaotic
bucket here.
sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution.
Dropped my last name and his on your stream. Oh dear. Because famously, you will never stop talking about the fact that your first name is Sam. You will tell us that all day, every day, all the live long day. It's frankly, you know, it's. I consider it to be your personality trait. It's all you ever talk about. But your last name, that's problematic. Your last name, that's problematic. Yeah. Have you deleted the VOD? Did you have to go through and do some things, some stuff and things? Did you sleep as well, Volcano? Did you sleep?
Problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart.
Oh.
It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disappointing contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arm.
I'm so sad. Why are you sad? It was fun, but you're sad. Why are you sad? Did you sleep though? Were you able to do some of the sleeps?
And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me.
Oh, because you had to delete the VOD. Because the VOD is... because the VOD is poof, yeah. So I think what you could do is you could have downloaded it, edited out that section, and then you could have like uploaded it to YouTube or something. I don't know if it's too late for that, but yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I slept at like 4 a.m. I slept at about 4 a.m. as well. Yeah.
Than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be?
I backlog to YouTube.
The
Fair.
bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
So all of my stuff from yesterday is up now. I was debating editing out the Uncharted stuff because we didn't really do much with it.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Oh, thank you.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket.
Maybe I should get a bucket IRL.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Right, have we seen everything there is to see here?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award.
No, you're not allowed. We're not allowing you to cover up the moneymaker. Have I looked at everything? Frig. The reassurance bucket, the merch. The collectible. We got a collectible.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one.
Oh.
I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration. Like
Benini Louie, how are you, friend? It's lovely to see you. How are you? Happy New Year's to you also. We're playing some of the Stanley Parable today, and it's so funny.
But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th
Right, what balloon do you guys like?
Which would you go with?
What balloon do you guys like? Get Well Someday or Happy 12th Birthday Stepniece? I'm doing pretty well, Benini Louie. Yeah, this game is very funny, so it's been a lot of laughter today, having a good time. What do people think? Get Well Someday? Has anybody else got a vote? Oh, yes, Benini Louie, you could actually help me. There's a poll pinned to the top of the chat, and if you'd like to vote on what we're going to be playing this week, it'd be very helpful. Got lots of votes right now, but we're currently tied at the top. So yes, let us know what you'd like to see me playing. So we've got Get Well Someday, and we've got Go With Right. So we've got one each. We need somebody to split. We've got a tie at the moment. One for the blue balloon, one for the white balloon. What do we think? Who's going to split the tie? The next person that says what they want the balloon to be will get their wishes. Fudge, are you still here? We need you to split this tie. I couldn't possibly. But Benini Louie, how did you spend your evening last night? Did you celebrate? How did you celebrate the new year? We celebrated the Eastern European time zone, the Central European time zone, and then GMT. So, yeah. Nobody's going to split this tie, are they? You voted. Thank you, Benini Louie. Is anybody going to split this tie? I don't think you are you? Okay, I'm going to go with the right. We'll go with Benini Louie.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Son of a bitch. God damn it. God damn it, Daniel. All right, well, that's the balloon. Anything else that we need to see?
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
I think we've seen everything now. Let's check the list. Still a bit unwell, so I stayed home and played games with my friends on Discord. It was a blast. I then celebrated with my wife and kiddo. That is lovely. Do you know what? That sounds like a... If I could spend next New Year's with my wife and kiddo, I currently don't have a wife or a girlfriend or a kiddo. But if I could spend my next New Year's with a wife and a kiddo, that'd be great. I'd fucking love that. So that sounds like a great night. Jump circle, this map, free trophy, the button that says the name, yes, merch, settings world champion. Don't think we've done that. Stanley Parable reassurance bucket, office decorations, epilogue, collectibles, infinite hole. Yeah, we've done all of it except settings world champion. Where would that be? This map is a bit confusing. Where's the infinite hole? That's K. So is it this way? That's the jump circle. Where is it in relation to the jump circle? That's N. Oh, N and hashtag are right beside each other. Okay. Jump circle. No screenshots. Was that what we got? That was the balloon thing, wasn't it? Maybe it's upstairs. Then we played some Horizon Forbidden West. Nice. Well, potentially, as you've been seeing on the poll, we might be doing some Horizon as well. Settings World Champion. Here we go. Very good game. Really enjoyed it. Got the platinum. Oh, we can't go in there. All right. Got the platinum for that, but there are more trophies now because I think they brought out a new game plus with a harder difficulty. So we may be playing that. But I think chat seems to have their eyes on a couple of other games as well. We'll have to see. We'll probably maybe have that poll going for a few days. I know that your choices will impact probably not just this week, but next week as well. Benini Louis, have you got any plans for 2024? Any plans for 2024 or any New Year's resolutions? I'm asking people. Most people do not do resolutions. A lot of people in my life do resolutions. Mine is just one. It's the same as always, to do more exercise. We played the first one, now the second one. What are you thinking? How much are you enjoying it? I think we've done everything. It might be time to leave. The exit's down here. Let's go. Epilogue was a semicolon. Don't even... Let's just leave. I think we found everything we need to find here. Oh, the exit's blocked off. How do we get out of here? How do we leave? That's where the collectibles were. How do we leave, guys? Oh, they've changed it to mostly infinite hole. I love that. Yeah. Was it this way? I wish you could run. I'm enjoying my bucket friend. Maybe it is this way. No, all these doors are locked. I am trapped. I am trapped in this place. Bucket friend, you might need to help me. The button that says gym, yeah, we've been to there. Oh. This door. How do we get up to this door? 70 books. Wow. I'm sad to say, well, I'm not sad to say because it's okay, but I didn't read any books this year. I bought loads. I did buy loads of books. I didn't read any of them. Epilogue, here we go.
Would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, there is no epilogue. That's yeah, okay. Game, I'm gonna need to know where to go. Am I supposed to just exit? Am I supposed to exit out of here? Oh, is this something? This is where we came in. Does anybody know how we exit from here? We've been down there, haven't we? Yeah. And it was a book I already read and half a smut book so far. Nice. I think the 6 collectibles are going to be in different locations throughout the game. I don't think they're all going to be in here. Half a smut book. Well, as you know, somebody's going to be writing some smut for this community. There is a poll up for that, but we'll get back to that another time. How do we leave? How do we leave? Am I supposed to... I mean, I want to keep the bucket, though. Do we think this is a good point to switch over to Power Wash Sim? Can you put the bucket back? I've seen that you can have this bucket in the main game. So I kind of want to bring it with me because I think it might create new endings or new kind of possibilities for us. That's the exit. It doesn't look like much of an exit though, does it? Collect them all. So right now I'm playing Forbidden West and starting Saints Row 5. It's a silly game, but I'm having a blast of it. Do you know what? Silly games are great. Games are great. This is a silly game. And whatever, you know what? If it entertains you, if you have a good time with it, then yeah. Who cares? On the other side of the red band, the exit is to the left of that. The red band. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just dumb. There we go. Thank you, Intel. Well spotted.
All right. Have you seen everything you
Yes,
wanted
we
to?
have.
Ready to move on now?
This is very intense imagery around here. Okay.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new
Daniel, I've got to
features?
be honest.
Yes,
I'm
I
very
know it's not
impressed.
exactly clear yet
Very
how
impressed indeed. Says exit 2. No, I saw the exit, but I was only like half looking, so I thought the blocked area was the exit. Take a screenshot of what? What do you want me to take a screenshot of? The game is now paused. Oh, it just says no
exactly
screenshots.
these
Oh,
features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
ready.
Here it is. I give you...
I'm impressed with the Stanley Parable 2. Very
Parable
impressed.
2.
I think Daniel's been working hard. Right. Do I have to get down there or
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's
the jump
sort of-
circle?
Okay, never
The
mind.
gym button?
Hold on. Let me do
trophy.
a different arrangement.
Lever?
Okay, yes. This is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags.
Now, you see, if the jump circle and the infinite hole were connected, that would be interesting. If we could jump the whole way from, like, the bottom all the way to the top, it kind of reminds me of how well we could jump in Viewfinder. We could, like, jump out of the map when we get all 6 of those jump power-ups.
And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Yes.
Carefully, of course.
Yes.
With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
I believe in you,
Let me
Daniel.
see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh, hello. This is very refined. Excuse me. A refined version of the original. Have you played There Is No Game, Wrong Dimension? No. I haven't even heard of it. Sounds amazing, though. I'm thinking after playing this, we might play Superliminal. Has anybody played Superliminal? It's so damn good. From the name alone, it sounds very good. That was very good, Daniel. He's created a very nice starting soon screen there.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
It is.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee.
I bet you anything it's not on PS5. I bet you it's not.
427's
Never heard of it. Me neither, Benini
He
Lewis.
sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
It's like the same
Orders
vibe.
came to
Do you know what?
ensure-
From the name alone, I was like, that sounds exactly like this vibe. Superliminal is a puzzle game, but I get very similar aesthetic vibes from this to Superliminal. I've never played Superliminal. I've seen people play it though.
a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427
Not on
did
PS5. I would have
every day
guessed.
of
I
every
would have
month
guessed.
Of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the
So, has anybody seen Step 1? Creating my trophy museum. Has anybody seen that? It's absolutely incredible. Step 1 is a genius, so talented, great friend of this stream. I think it's happening now. We've talked about it in kind of obscurities, but I think, and I said I'd pay him, he's going to recreate the entirety of Stanley's office when I get the platinum. And you see the picture hanging above the desk? That's going to be the platinum in a frame. Yeah, I'm more and more excited about that idea every time I think about it. I think I have it on Steam. Could you whisper it to me, Volcana? I will absolutely check it out after stream.
Exactly for this job. And Stanley
Thank you.
was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
The
Something
Stanley
that would
Parable
forever
2.
change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to
This
follow.
is so good.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
What was dinner
Never in
again,
all
Jenko?
his years at the company.
Volcana, do you know what?
Before we begin, you must all be warned.
Thank you.
Nothing here is vegetarian.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Volcana, I know it must be a very difficult time to go back to work on the 1st of January, but I believe in you. And if you need me on to be there to give you distractions on Discord, sending you, you know, the dumb, weird shit that I normally just save for stream, if that would help get you through your work day, just reach out. I'm always here. Roast pork and crackling with all the trimmings. Now, pork, I love pork, but do you like it with apple sauce, Jenko? Because when I have pork, and I fucking love pork, it's got to be apple sauce. It's got to be some apple sauce. I'll be cooking and dealing with people. I can't even go on my phone at all. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, you'll kick its ass. You'll do great. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you want to be snuggled up, just being warm, hanging out with the cats, but yeah, I believe in you. We all believe in you. I might need to play a couple of smaller games before I go back to the wheel. Like there is no game and unpacking. I might, if you play that, I'll watch you play it. Yeah, I'll definitely see what it's about. Had roast pork, all the trimmings. Did you get Trek to Yomi done? I'll be cooking and dealing with people. Apple sauce. I got a huge load on it. Yes. Has to be with apple sauce. Yes. Pork medallions. A bit of apple sauce. Absolutely. Yeah, but I won't play it, Volcana, because it's not on PlayStation, so I'm not ever going to play it. You have to experience it, lurks only. I'll literally never play it if it's not on PlayStation. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And stuffing. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. See, I'm thinking about pork now. I quite like your pork. So pork medallions, apple sauce. I quite like having a Yorkshire in there. Yeah, I don't know why, but Yorkshires are a good fit with pork and apple sauce. At least that's what I think anyway. Cheeky little Yorkshire. Yeah, Volcano. Well, I mean, I might watch Intel play the first hour, and if it's something that absolutely blows my mind, which it could be, I might dip out then. I love crackling too. Yeah, pork scratchings. Big crackling fan. Not so much into the pork scratchings, even though they're basically the same thing. But yeah, that sounds very nice. Oh yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't have stuffing probably so much with pork. Like I love it with other things, but I'm just I could have pork and applesauce and nothing else. Oh, it's on Switch. Well, I do have a Switch, as you can see just about there. Is that my Switch? I think my Switch is just about there. So maybe you've sold it to me, Volcano. Maybe you've sold it to
Had
me.
this happened, this complete isolation, Something was very clear.
Can I just say, I created a thumbnail for this yesterday. If you go to down here, I look for my thumbnail for yesterday's Stanley Parable. I think I did a really good job. I quite like it. I put the number 1 on his screen, and so this one will be number 2 and stuff. I really like it.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
This is the Stanley Parable 2.
All of his co-workers
Oh, it's
were
all the
gone.
balloons.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a
Well, Connor,
trace
it's
of
your
his
balloon.
co-workers.
It's the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
That's where the new content was, in that door.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Which door do we want to enter? There is no game wrong dimension yet. Right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yes. The bucket spoke to me. This seems
And
the
here it
same.
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Left or right? Left is back the way it wants us to go. Right is continuing on our misadventure. Are we the bucket? The bucket is our friend. I mean, do you know what? Benini Louis, that's actually a very interesting thought, because we don't see our legs. So maybe we are the bucket. You've just blown my mind. I spent the whole day around my friends playing that on his PC after lockdown. Did you? Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Okay, so all 3 of you have played it. So I might need to play it then. Right, we're going right. I love that these balloons are everywhere now.
No, said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Okay,
The cargo
bucket.
lift. Yes, go there. Go to the cargo lift.
The bucket is speaking to us.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced
Oh.
that the bucket had spoken
There's something
to him,
down. There's a
and he
collectible.
unthinkingly did what
Intel, I can see one of the collectibles.
ever
Can
the
you see
bucket
it?
asked.
It's floating down there, just above the bucket rim. That's one of the collectibles. Nice. I'm gonna have to get down there somehow.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Gonna have to go down
Stanley
there.
once again obeyed blindly.
This room? He said there's no trophy for getting all of the collectibles. I still want to get them all though, just in case he's bluffing.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Okay.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go about life together.
I can't pick it up. God. Oh, there we go. Hostage situation. That swinging light was, yeah.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley.
Oh,
and
amazing.
his
This is
bucket.
new.
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
It's all about doors in this game. Doors and corridors. We're home. We're home. This is our home. It's the bucket. It's me and the bucket. That's me. That's the bucket. I thought that said smut. It says sunset, but I thought it said smut. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press square to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Next time I'll drink before putting the lip stuff on. Are we sure? I'm not sure. Oh, wait a second. We normally... This is us going back into our office. We never start out here and go towards the office. Take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Circle to go back to work. It's quite a quick commute.
Anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
The bucket understands me,
Doesn't
Daniel.
do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press square for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened
Orders
to.
from?
Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press right to ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
All hail the bucket. All hail the bucket. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press X to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press triangle to relive this same day with me. Over and over and over and over and over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
It's a very nice bucket. Super hot. Super hot. Press square to go home, to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket?
Oh.
Hear what the bucket has to say.
This door's
Do
open
anything
now.
it asks. What's wrong with me?
Oh
I don't
my
understand.
goodness.
Perhaps if I
Oh
had the
my
bucket,
goodness.
this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
How romantic. Look at this. The bucket has put out all these candles. How romantic. Oh my goodness. I'm being seduced. I'm being seduced. The frying pan, yeah. The bucket is cheating. I think no, I think the frying pan is. I think they're friends. I think they might be related. And the bucket needed the frying pan's help a little bit. It's a cover up. How erotic.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
No.
I need it.
It's my
give
bucket.
It to me now. Give it or I'll...
Gotta go back to work, Pat. No worries, Sam. Feel better. Feel better. Don't take it. Don't work too hard, all right? You've got to be well. But yeah, it's good to keep on top of it. Where's the bucket? What have you... Staniel, what have you done with the bucket, you son of a bitch?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh, this is different.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh my God. It's on a pillow. A little pillar.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Oh God, the two-door situation.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Volcana, lift or door? Lift or door? Everyone loves the button. Let's go. This is exciting.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh, this is new. Oh God, it's an intervention. It's an intervention.
See, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
My
We've
wife.
come together here because
My
we
wife.
care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what
The
fans
Broom
want
Closet.
to see.
I didn't even
They
see
want
you there,
more of
friend.
Their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line
Oh,
go
God.
somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Okay. Goodbye, baby. Goodbye, fire, baby. Oh my God, the baby's so close to the fire. Oh God. Goodbye, wife. Mwah. So that weighs nothing. Okay. I mean, the Adventure Line has betrayed us before, Staniel.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yay, it's the adventure music again.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it
What?
was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
I'm not giving up the bucket. Oh my God, where the fuck are we going?
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
Oh,
This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Oh God. I mean, for a
I
bucket
think it'll make
destroyer,
a
this is
wonderful new
quite
addition
sizable.
to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well fleshed out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley.
No.
Say goodbye to the bucket.
Please,
and then
bucket,
put it
no.
into the machine when you're ready.
No. Oh God, it's locked.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know.
I will die for the bucket. This is my bucket.
Destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular
Can I turn it
personality
off?
trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after
Don't talk
this.
to the broom closet like that.
Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer.
I love that they always put TM after the Adventure Line. Oh God, oh Jesus.
The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Wow. In memoriam. In the arms of the angels.
Creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
You were magnificent. Fade to black. I can't lie. Every part of me wants to put the bucket in there now and see what happens.
Someone was following Stanley.
Oh.
He was sure of it.
Oh God.
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them.
Oh,
It was
God.
only a matter of time.
Am I going to hide behind this door?
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Right, which door?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Which door are we going through?
Entered the door on his left.
To collect, but well, at least we know where it is. We can pop back there anytime we need to. I think we've been right the last couple of times. Should we try left? Should we go to the manager's office with the bucket? Maybe we could try that. I don't think we've done that yet. I'm glad that they glow though, Intel. At least they'll be easy to see.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Look what we found.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley.
God knows I've tried.
So, I implore you to savor each and every moment
Look at him.
you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I can't believe you don't get anything for finding them all. Oh, see, I want to go down there as well with the bucket. Because it'll all be changed, but I think we'll start with the manager's office. still want to go into the executive washroom as well. Trying to jump, I don't know why.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
The bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code
By sheer luck, everybody.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Indeed. Right, let's go down to... We'll take the squashing path.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him.
There was a collectible. I did see something shining, yeah.
In this darkest moment of
it's alright, we'll swing back and get it another time.
Right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, same.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
What do we fancy, the violent death or
But of course,
the mind control?
Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too
Intel, what'd you
much
fancy?
to live for.
Mind control facility or the museum with the bucket? Mind control, let's do it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Cameras.
Monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped.
Monitored like guinea pigs.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into
Oh,
tears.
bucket, don't
Stanley
cry.
cradled it gently,
I'll cradle the bucket
reassuring
gently.
it that everything would be fine.
I thought the bucket was meant to be reassuring us, not the other way around.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in
Stanley's feeble mind. I will cradle you gently, Volcano. I'll absolutely cradle you gently.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Certainly not Staniel.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way. and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
The bucket jumped
Stanley
in.
gasped in horror.
Bucket,
Had
what
this
did you
been
do?
The bucket's plan all along?
How
To
could
take
you,
over the
Bucket?
machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust.
Never.
And suddenly, an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly birds.
Silly birds.
The control buttons became active again.
Oh, I think it doesn't matter which ones we pick, does it? Oh.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another.
This is
and then
amazing.
it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place.
Nice.
Flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable.
That is a silly bird.
Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
Agreed.
And Stanley was happy.
Welcome in. Welcome in, Skilla Juna. How are you doing today? Lovely to see you. We're playing some Stanley Parable. And very shortly we're going to be moving over to Power Wash Sim. How are you doing? Welcome in, everybody. If any raiders that have just come in, if you need to hydrate, if you need to take medications, if you need to get snacks, if you need to raid and run, completely understand. Hey, my lovely lounge, how are you doing? What were you streaming today? Welcome in. Geist, welcome in as well. How are you doing today? Would you like a video shout out? I always ask now because I got it into my brain that I should ask because some people don't like video shout outs. I think you've told us before, but I can't recall. Doing all right? Good. Yeah, Happy New Year, Skilla Juna and Geist. And what did you do last night to celebrate, if you did anything? Don't even have some video shout outs. You don't have any, fair enough. I'll do one of the other kind. Boop. And there we go. Thank you so much for the raid. Yeah, we're playing a bit of Stanley Parable. We might have just finished a particular run. There we go. Yeah, we did just finish a particular run. So we've got the buckets in our lives now. Just had one beer with a friend and that was it. Nice. Well, that's enough. Whatever it takes to have a good time. But yeah, have you got any plans for 2024? Just had some drinks and chilled. It sounds like you both had drinks and chilled. Very nice. Have you guys got any plans for 2024? Anything you want to do? Any ambitions or any New Year's resolutions? Nobody's really had any New Year's resolutions today. Mine is always just do a bit more exercise. Today, a few hours of Monster Hunter Rise. Then tried Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Nice. Kept disconnecting. And then some Chocobo Mystery Dungeon. Nice. Nice. It sounds like a good mixture of games. Yeah, last night we played a bit of Ghostbusters, the new-ish Ghostbusters game. Stanley Parable, Uncharted 4, and then did some Power Wash Sim. So yeah, we're going to be switching over to Power Wash Sim in a little while. Let's resume the game.
What could it mean? Stanley decided.
But yeah, thank you for the raid. I do appreciate it. If you need to de-stream at all, you just do what you need to do.
Warmth spread through Stanley's
Wow, we've got the
arms.
bucket again.
With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Which way should we go?
Stanley the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's go to the door on the right.
This was
Kind of
not the correct
get at least 130 plats, but my goal I'd really love to get done is 150, but not sure if I can do that with my games. Well, yeah, I mean, good luck. That's a really, really good aim. I think I'd like to get to 75 by the end of the year, which is only 13 away. But yeah, I think that could be a good plan. But yeah, I'm sure you can achieve it. How many have you got now, currently? Also, to combat cheaters in this, if they detect cheats, you will be locked in the serious room. where the narrator states every time you cheat, your sentence will get longer and longer. Really? That's fantastic, guys. I had no idea. That's insane. I did not do a media course. No, Sam. No, I did film and I did creative writing. That is really cool, guys. Very cool. Currently on 124. Nice. Yeah, I absolutely think you could hit 150 this year. Absolutely.
To the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him.
Yeah, we're playing the Stanley Parable, and it's just a very funny game if people haven't played it. We've got a narrator the whole way through, and they'll always tell us what they want us to do, but when we pivot to do something else, their kind of narration will change. Yeah, no worries, Sam.
No, never mind. The bucket was
Right, let's see if we can do the opposite of what we did last time. We're going to go down to where the phone is, but unplug the phone.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Intel.
The cargo lift, yes. Go
Intel.
there. Go to the cargo lift.
I was going to say, it might be difficult to find... Oh, we may have just found a little secret. Oh, okay. I was going to get the collectible, but I think we found a secret location. What is this? These are all cassette tapes.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Jenko, I didn't know. I'm hoping they're in the credits as Random Guy 1 now, guys. Oh. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Which door do you guys want to go through? The Wilson bucket. Left or right? Skilla June, Sam Jenko, up a little bit above you in the chat, has just got the platinum for Dead Island 2. So he's been playing it also. Enjoying it a lot, I think. I think he got it in 24 hours. The narrator is... I love the narrator. I absolutely love him. He's naughty. Much like you mentioned Monty Python, he's a very naughty boy. He's cheeky, but yeah, we've named him Staniel. So we've got Stanley and Staniel, and the female narrator is Staniela, as named by Jenko. Let's go left. How we can find them. Trust the completionist instinct. Small floating objects have appeared across the office. We have to synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. How can you tell you've spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? There will be a reward for finding them all. Red room. Thank you. Good luck. Okay. Interesting. I tend to love the dry humor in British comedies. Yeah, I mean, I always feel like it's such a British thing to say. But, like, I don't think the narrator, if this is the script, I don't think the narrator could have been anybody other than, like, a snarky, like, British guy. I was playing the Talos Principle 2 last week, and that's got a couple of snarky British people in it as well. We do snark really well. So...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Do we want to go upstairs? What's upstairs? The mind control room is upstairs. Maybe we want to go downstairs for a change. Yeah, we've not brought the bucket down here to this section. You put it in your wish list and wait for a sale. That's fair enough. I mostly move on. If I play a game that I really like, I might return to it. But if I play something with DLC, and the DLC is too expensive, I'll probably play like 7 games until that game DLC is cheaper. And then that game will kind of be, I kind of moved on from it really.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket.
He really is Wilson, yeah.
Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze and said nothing at all.
The bucket returned his gaze and said nothing at all. That is such a good line. I'm awake again. Hello, Zaya.
Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and
We've got a new friend. We've got a bucket.
Times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal...
Oh God, it's not our bucket.
Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows
Where did the bucket go? Where did it go?
Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
The bucket's gone.
Now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed.
Oh God, I'm
Without
floating.
my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it.
Bucket Chan.
Far off in the distance now.
Do you watch what's his name? ProZD, where he makes all of the inanimate objects something Chan. Is that because I've watched those clips? They're very funny.
Calling to him.
Stanley, Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of
I think
them
I've seen
were
that. Yeah,
his
very
special
good.
Bucket.
Come to me, Stanley.
God.
Find me.
Bucket.
He had to find the bucket. He
Bucket,
had to
is it
return
you?
to his old friend. It
Bucket,
was the
please.
only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Oh God.
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, we know this bit, yeah. That finds us dead.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed,
Picked up her bucket.
of
Okay, it's
comfort and
slightly
security,
different.
and walked to her place of work.
She's got the
But
bucket.
on
That's
this
so good.
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket.
Only we'd taken our bucket with us.
Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter.
I need a bucket.
But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass.
My life kicks
and she
ass.
backflipped all the way to work.
Backflipped all the way to work. Mariella is, yeah, I'd like to get to know Mariella. Right, what we're going to do now is I'm going to end this stream and immediately start another stream. And I'm going to change game because I like my VODs to be separated. So in about 60 seconds, I will be back. So if you want to watch me play some Power Wash Sim, we're going to go on to, I think, like level 3. Just started it yesterday. But yes, I will be ending and starting immediately up again. So just remember to refresh if you want to keep watching. If you don't, have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, yeah, and don't forget to vote in the poll as well. Okay, I'll see you shortly.